1,500 more troops have been sent to Iraq. This more or less doubles the number of troops there. And Lewis, months ago, I said, and many others said, I'm not just patting myself on the back here, but it was clearly predictable that a few hundred security forces to 800 and up to 1,000 and maybe 1,500, it can very easily become several thousand, and that's where we are now. President Obama has authorized the deployment of 1,500 additional American troops to Iraq in the coming months. This is going to double the number that is there primarily to train and advise Iraqi and Kurdish forces in their fight against ISIS. But of course, and this would only be logical, if they are attacked, if they are in the midst of conflict, they will defend themselves, Lewis. So very quickly, we've scaled up to a 3,000 troop force in Iraq that will be involved in a variety of activities.
And I'm not surprised that this number could grow. If ISIS continues to grow, if the threat continues to grow, we will react by sending more troops. And I'm not condemning this. I think it's probably the right thing to do.
Well, do we even have a choice? This is what we get back to every time we have this discussion. And when Lewis and I say, okay, let's think about this. The U.S. created this invasion in Iraq under known faulty intelligence to accomplish unclear goals, maybe for personal political vendettas, and that caused a complete breakdown of the country of Iraq. And it is in part responsible for the power vacuum that got us sequentially to the situation we have now, which is ISIS trying to take over. So we have a responsibility there. And when Lewis and I say that, we often get emails from people saying, David, it's just time to stop. What's the big deal? The U.S. can handle the political repercussions of saying you broke it and now you're refusing to fix it. We need to stop this. This needs to stop right away. And that's not a crazy view. There are people who would say, Lewis, you know what? Even admitting that we created the situation that was the catalyst for what we have now, at a certain point, we just have to say, hey, listen, we're out.
But I don't think we've reached that point yet. We're trying to stop a group here that could not only just cause instability in Iraq and Syria, but if left, if we don't keep them in check, it could spread to other countries. It could have a huge impact on the world as a whole. So, I think at least for the time being, this is the correct move, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, it's already starting to take on some of the same characteristics that the initial occupation of Iraq had. We're fighting against an enemy that isn't an army nor a country, which makes the situation increasingly vague. We have goals that have not really been clearly defined. We're there to suppress ISIS and we're there to train the locals. But if we're attacked, we'll defend, and we're doing these airstrikes. But what's the ultimate end goal of the airstrikes? Is it solving the situation? Is it just limiting the impact of ISIS? We have an amorphous definition of what it would even mean to win and what circumstances would lead to troops leaving. All of these characteristics on a smaller scale from the original Iraq invasion are here.
Yeah, there are many, many similarities. And I feel like we would probably be more effective, not just training the people who are there to take on ISIS, but actively taking them on ourselves.
So you're saying a true boots on the ground in fighting mode situation?
I don't like putting our soldiers in harm's way, but who's going to be more effective at dealing with this threat? These untrained civilians and people of that sort, or our troops?
All right. So Lewis asking the same questions that a lot of progressives are asking, which is, this is an incursion that makes no sense. And at the same time, morally, can we really even stay out of it?